So Alex Nedeljkovic was waived. Not surprised, honestly. Kind of similar to the Verana, but they needed. The Red Wings were carrying three goalies, so it was going to be one of them, right? Huso's been playing very well, and they clearly have him on a contract for afterwards. You can see the Red Wings have been prioritizing Hellberg. So unfortunately, Nedeljkovic is the one that is getting chosen, and I got a couple stats on reasons why we're choosing him. So let's get like the big rocks out of here. So one is performance, and two is a contract. Honestly, to be honest, the difference in the contracts between Hellberg and Nedeljkovic are much different, and we'll tell you why. So with the Red Wings, we had Ned playing. He's played 8 games, so he was 2 wins, 4 losses, and 2 ties. 2 tie losses, I'd say. And so he has a 4.09 goals against average, which is very high. So that means the other teams are scoring on average over 4 goals on him per night, right? And with a 8.88 save percentage. So when they're shooting on him, there's an 88% chance that he's going to save it. Now, when you look at the averages in the NHL, you have like a 90.5% is a good save percentage. So he has he's 2.5% less than what we like to see from an average goalie. So he's very below average. Plus, he also has a $3 million contract. So the Red Wings signed him 2 years ago. They traded a 3rd-round draft pick and the rights to Jonathan Bernier to Carolina for Nedeljkovic and signed him to a 2-year, $3 million annual average value (AAV). So he made $3 million a year. His cap hit is $3 million a year. And his AAV, or his actual cap salary that he has coming up this year, is actually 3.5. So a team on their cap salary will be taking a $3 million hit. In actual dollars, they'll be paying $3.5 million. So it actually disincentivizes teams to pick him up or put in a claim for him because they have to pay him more money. So they actually have to pay him the full salary of $3.5 million for the rest of the year, right? Or whatever is left of that contract, right? So in comparison to Hellberg, by the way, also Nedeljkovic hasn't played since December 5th. The Red Wings have been prioritizing Hellberg over him. So we actually, and Hellberg doesn't have a much better record. He's only played 5 games with the Red Wings, but he's 2 wins, 3 losses. But the other numbers that make more sense, or that are actually a bigger difference, is you see that, so Nedeljkovic had a 4.09 goals against average, again, over 4 goals a game that he's being scored on. Hellberg has a 2.81, right? So that means teams are scoring 2.8 goals per game on him, right? Which is, if you're saving over a goal per game, right, that could be a winning game right there, right? When it's a 3-2 or it's a 4-3 game, right? That can be the deciding factor of what's actually going to happen and what the outcome of the game is going to be. Also, he does have a higher save percentage as well, a .896, right? So you're looking at an 89.6% save percentage. So he has 1.6 percentages over Nedeljkovic, right? So about every 100 shots, he's saving one more one more save. Anyways, but the big number is that we see that Hellberg actually has a much lower contract as well, which is going to play into what Yzerman might be doing this upcoming year. So again, we talked about, the Red Wings are, they still have to work on their salaries and everything. They have to watch with how much they're spending and everything. So Nedeljkovic has a $3 million cap hit, and Hellberg has a $750,000, right? So you're looking at two significantly. I mean, he's getting paid a quarter of what Nedeljkovic is being paid. So you're going with a cheaper goalie with better results. So that just makes more sense on why you're going to waive Nedeljkovic. Now, mind you, Hellberg has a lower ceiling. So right now he's playing well, but we've talked about this on Nedeljkovic. So you have Huso, who's a safe goalie, a little more technically sound, stays a little more square, but he's not going to make those big saves for you. Whereas Nedeljkovic, he's a little more sloppy, but he has high athletic, high IQ, right? And he's going to make those bigger saves. He has a lot more athletics to him. So that's kind of the risk you have with a goalie who's younger. I mean, he's a younger goalie, which is why I think that it's conflicting, right? I think he'll probably pass through waivers. I know Let me rephrase. I want him to pass waivers. I want the Red Wings to continue to work with him. I want them to re-sign him. I think he's a huge ceiling. I think he's a really athletic goalie. He can be really good in the future. He just hasn't developed yet. He's still a young goalie, still 26 years old. He's gonna be a free agent. By the way, so is Hellberg. So that means the Red Wings are gonna need a goalie next year. So this is why I think it's important for them to try and keep him if they can, because he is high at athletics. So, like I was saying, though, Nedeljkovic did play well. So they actually sent both Hellberg and Nedeljkovic down for the conditioning stint down to the Grand Rapids Griffins for 2 weeks. And the numbers show that for Nedeljkovic, he went down there. He was, by the way, the Griffins need goaltending. Their goaltending has not been good down there. So to show you, he does have a winning record. A hockey winning record, or an AHL winning record, meaning he has 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 loss in overtime, right? So which means that of the 6 points, 6 games, so that's 12 points they could have gotten, they got 7, right? So they got over half. They had a higher point percentage, winning percentage than half, right? They're above 500, as you would say. And he did post a 2.3 goals against average. So again, that's pretty good. That's a really good save percentage. Mind you, it is in the AHL. And his save percentage average, like we talked about, when you see an average goalie in the NHL, you're going to see a 90.5% or a .905 save percentage. He had a .92, right? So he's saving 92% of the shots that are being shot at him. He's going to save it 92% of the time, right? So, and he actually, another good thing is that he had a game against the Chicago Wolves where he posted a shutout. He had 27 saves in that game. So there is a lot of, again, he's a good goalie, and that's the problem, is he's just not playing well. He played all right last year. Red Wings were good last year, but this is a better Red Wings team, and we're seeing that Husso is performing pretty well, and Nedeljkovic isn't, right? And there's a similar team in front of them. So that's where you get the frustration of, he just needs a little more development, and that's the unfortunate thing is it's only, so he had a partial time. He didn't really play a ton in Carolina. He played well in Carolina for when he played, but he didn't play as much as like a starting position, right? So last year was his first time being a starting goalie in the NHL, and so and this is his, Husso has now pretty much been the starting goalie, and Nedeljkovic has been bumped down to the third, clearly being waived, and Hellberg being kept. But it's frustrating because you want to keep him because he has a great ceiling. He's just not living up to it yet. And so there's a little bit more patience that needs to be had with him. And so I hope he gets it underneath him. I have faith that he can do it. And if not, I really enjoyed having Nedeljkovic on the team. I thought he has a great energy. That flow, though, man, he had great hair, cut it all off this past summer, as did Bert. So, but great personality. And like I said, I only wish the best for him. I'd love to keep him. I'd love him to be the backup. I'd love him to be able to, Hellberg's great too, right? But it's unfortunately Steve Yzerman he's waived over $8 million in the last couple of weeks, with Verona being waived, and so is Nedeljkovic. So Verona being like 8.25 or 5.25, and Nedeljkovic being $3 million. I was just making moves, man. I think he has to at this point, because you have a team that's just kind of, it's below middling, and you made progress, but it's not the progress you want to see with all these signings that he did. So I'm excited to see the moves. I'm a little nervous, but trust Yzerman, right? So trust the Yzerman plan. So anyways, hit like, subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are, and love you. Catch you soon.